My name is Chelsey. I'm from Colorado Springs, Colorado. I attend Wheaton College and I'm studying Spanish. I am a current YECA fellow. Unlike some of the other fellows, I don't have a super dramatic climate conversion moment. I kind of grew up always imagining that climate change was real precisely because my dad didn't believe in it. Because he was so aggressively opposed to it, I always knew that there was something more going on. And while I love and respect him to the end of the earth, we disagree about a lot of things. However, it was really brought to the forefront of my mind when I took a class on environmental stewardship last semester at Wheaton. And I realized, or my professor presented all of the tragic doomsday facts of climate change in a way that I found incredibly depressing and caused me to really despair about the issue, but really to believe in it and to take its implications seriously. This came at a time in my life when I was already deeply struggling with the way that I was complicit in structural sin and in systemic issues such as systemic racism. And so I was already feeling so deeply resentful and guilty and ashamed that climate change just became one more log on the fire of that inner sense of torment. Unfortunately, I became kind of radical about my conserving energy, and I even went so far as to not let my then boyfriend turn on the heat in his car during the Chicago winter. That might give you a clue as to why we're now broken up. I didn't let my roommate and I didn't turn on the heat in our own room. I kind of stopped taking showers, other crazy things. And I just felt so deeply resentful towards myself, towards other Christians who didn't care about these things, towards my college for lacking so much infrastructure to talk about them. And creation care really became something that was filled with so much strife for me. I just felt stressed out and I hated everyone that was involved in this entire issue. That all began to change this summer when I started to work at a small regenerative farm in Holland, Michigan, which is this strange little place. It's a plot of 2 acres of soil in the middle of a mini mall, which is behind a Dutch themed amusement park. It's in Holland, Michigan, so I guess that's a thing. But I just fell in love with the people there who were so caught up in the energy of developing a mutual relationship with the land in which they not only worked on the land but were worked on by the land, in which they gave back to the soil so that the soil could grow the plants rather than them growing the plants. And they were so energized by their mission of growing food for people in the community who might not otherwise have had access to it, that I really began to be convicted about what to me what I had previously thought of as creation care, which I realized was only partial creation care at best. I had been valuing some bits of creation, such as polar bears and the atmosphere and farmland, far above my elected officials and my friends and my peers who did not agree with me. And when I realized that all of those things over here that I had resented were just as much components of creation as the things that I wanted to save, I had an incredible moment of realization where I noticed that what I had been trying to do was hate my way into a state of shalom, a state of peace, a state of reconciliation with the land. And so realizing that was incredibly powerful and showed me that even if we don't accomplish our ends of bringing climate action into the center stage of our nation, I believe that caring for creation and taking small steps towards climate action are important spiritual practices for every Christian, because in and of themselves they create that shalom that we seek. They create that peace and that regeneration of relationships that we want. And so in that way, every step forward can be a tiny step of a little bit of shalom towards a future shalom, to shalom our way to peace. And that is what I am deeply passionate about and excited about. One of the reasons why I am so excited to work with Young Evangelicals for Climate Action is because even in the limited time I've worked with them, I've gotten a foretaste of that sense of a redeemed relationship with the environment, with other human beings, that the way that they work is so steeped in love and care for each other that the small microcosm that we've built here is like a glimmering reminder and a hope for the future of what we hope to accomplish on a larger scale.